Okay, so if x ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0 is a quadratic equation, that is basically the general form of the quadratic equation, then the solution are given by the formula that is given as quadratic formula. The sign plus minus is read as plus or minus. You obtain one of the solution of the quadratic equation by using x is equals to with plus sign, minus b plus square root of b square minus 4ac over 2, and also the other one by using x is equals to minus b minus square root of b square minus 4ac over 2a. So this is not a single solution. These are two solutions of the quadratic equation. As we have seen that the quadratic equation has two solutions due to its square, right? The formula method can be applied to much wider range of quadratic equations than the factorizing method. You would normally use the formula if the equation cannot be factorized in an obvious way. The quadratic formula will be given to you in an IGCSE exam on the formula sheet. So this formula can be given in the examination in the exam sheet, and also all the quadratic equations can be solved by using this formula. If the equations are easier, if the equations are harder, we can use this formula to solve easily these quadratic equations, right? This is the effective method to solve the quadratic equations. Now here is the example. You can see that solve equation 2x square minus 4x minus 1 is equals to 0. Give your answer to three decimal places. So there is no obvious factorization, so we use the formula. So if a quadratic equation has a factorization or has not a factorization, we can use the quadratic formula. But if a quadratic equation has not any proper factors, so we strictly use the quadratic formula. Okay, there is no obvious factorization, so we use the formula inspecting that a is basically 2 and b is basically minus 4 and c is minus 1, right? So then substituting these values into the formula, and formula is x is equals to minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac over 2a, right? So you can see that minus times b has minus 4, so minus times minus 4 plus minus square root of minus 4 square minus 4 as it is, and what is the value of a, that is 2, and what is the value of c, that is minus 1, over 2a, that is 2 times 2. Simplify it. This minus times minus 4 will becomes positive 4, and plus minus as it is, minus 4 square is equals to 16, and you can see that minus times minus, that will becomes positive, and 4 times 2, that is 8, 8 times 1, that is 8, so plus 8 is given, and 2 times 2, that is equals to 4. Okay, after that you can see in the square root we have 24, so it will becomes 4 plus minus square root of 24 over 4. So when we use the calculator, we have these two terms, 2.2247444871. This is your one solution, and the next solution is minus 0.2247444871, right? Because he is asking in the question up to three decimal places, so 2.225 is your first solution, and second one is minus 0.225 up to three decimal places. This is your solved example. Do you have any problem in this example?
No.
Okay, good. If you are asked to solve a quadratic equation in an IGCSE exam, and the number that you calculate under the square root sign is negative, right? If a negative number obtained in a square root, for example, square root of minus 25, then you know you must have made an error. So this is not your real root. this is your complex or imaginary root. When we have a negative sign in the square root, we have not a real number, that is called the imaginary number, and this imaginary number can be represented by I, that is iota. Okay, so this is not included in your topic. We have always in the square root, that is positive number. Okay, so the next one is the exercise 22.3. Solve these equations using the quadratic equation formula. Give your answers correct to three decimal places. We have all these equations. First of all, we have to inspect that what is the value of a, b and c. Secondly, put these values into the formula, and thirdly, simplify it. At the end, use the calculator to solve, uh, to take the answer into decimals. Okay, and your answer must be in up to three decimal places. And the second one is rearrange the equation below so that they are in the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0. Then solve them using the quadratic formula method. Give your answer correct to three significant figures. This is the difference between the three significant figures and three decimal places. Three decimal places means that we have to take the answer after the decimal place till three figures, and in three significant figures means that we have three figures in the answer, and these figures must be significant. Okay, so from question 11 to 20, you can see that we have the equations, but equations are not in a proper way. So first of all, we have to rearrange these equations according to the general form of the quadratic equation. For example, this 14 question, that is x square plus x is equals to 2 minus 9x. First of all, we have to take all these equations, all these terms on the right side, sorry, on the left side. So it will becomes minus 2 and plus 9x is equals to 0. After that, x square is as it is, and this 9x and x added to each other, it will becomes 10x, and minus 2 is as it is equals to 0. So this is your standard form of the quadratic equation. First of all, you have to change all these equations and rearrange these equations into the standard form of the quadratic equation. Secondly, inspect that what is the value of a, b and c. Thirdly, use the quadratic formula. At the end, we have to use the calculator to find two different roots up to three significant figures or up to three decimal places. Do you have any problem in this exercise,
No.
and any problem in this given example,
No.
and any problem in the given proof of this quadratic
No.
formula?
No.
Okay, so you have to do the example. After that, you have to do some questions from this exercise, that are question number 9 and 8, and question number 20 and 18, right? In the next class, I'll check this work and the previous work. That's enough for today. If you want to take the screenshot, then you can take. Okay, you have taken the screenshot.
Yes.
Okay, so you have to complete these questions and send it to me on WhatsApp. That's enough for today. Okay, Allah Hafiz.
I love us.